Alright, so it's time to play some Zombicide, y'all. So what we're looking at here is Zombicide 2nd Edition. This is the first Zombicide that I ever got, and currently Zombicide in general is just my favorite game. I'm kind of obsessed with it. And there are many different ways to play Zombicide. There are many versions, editions, expansions, yada yada yada. I mean, if I was to just confine myself to the basic content that the developers put out and play it as intended, that's a lot of content right there. And I'm going to try to go through it all, including probably some of the custom stuff that I come up with at some point, because I just love this game. So we're going to start at the beginning. The very first game that I did get, as I said, Zombicide 2nd Edition. This is basically their modern day sort of version of the zombie apocalypse, sort of like Walking Dead, George Romero type vibes, you know? So without further ado, I'm just going to explain some of the basic core elements of the game before we get started, because I'm going to assume that you have never heard of Zombicide, never played it, maybe never even played a game like this. So we're going to treat this video as something of a tutorial where I explain all the basics, and I may not encounter all of the things in this game, and I'll have to continue to explain things in further videos, but we're going to cover all the basics here, right? Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we're going to move the camera a little bit so y'all can see the player boards here. This is what I like to call your heads-up display for the survivor characters that you as the player control. So that gives you a hint at what Zombicide is about, right? It is a cooperative game set in some type of zombie apocalypse setting in which the players are survivors working together to accomplish a certain set of objectives. And the game just kind of keeps going until those objectives are complete. So zombies are going to keep spawning every single turn, and sometimes they will spawn like sort of during the turn under certain circumstances, and we'll get into all of that. I'm not going to explain everything right now, just some of the basic elements that you can see here, right? So each game has a map. It takes place on a map, and the map is usually made up of a bunch of different double-sided tiles, which is pretty cool. Because this means the sky is kind of the limit for, the maps that you want to play on. As you collect more tiles, you unlock more possibilities for the types of missions that you can eventually create to play for yourself. So this game is awesome because there is just so much replayability value for it. But we're going to try to keep it simple for this one. We're just going to use the core elements from the box, and that's all there is to it. And I only just realized I don't have the survivors at their starting point just yet. If I'm honest, I put them off to the side last night because I didn't want my cats to knock them over. And this model right here, Amy, she's got a katana that breaks pretty easily. I already had to buy her again once because it's kind of a pain to fix it once it is broken. So I'm going to try to be careful with Amy because she's kind of a decent character, so I'd like to keep that model. Anywho, so that's your survivors. They start in a place on a map of double-sided tiles. Within the tiles, you also have zones, right? So each tile is comprised of many zones. We have street zones, and we have building zones. Street zones, the only thing that we need to know about is you cannot search them for equipment, and you have, when it comes to line of sight for determining various things, you can see from one end of the street in a straight line to the other. We never do diagonals in Zombicide, just straight lines. Alright, so in building zones, and a zone is just one room. Our survivors start in a little utility shed here, which is just one room, so this is one zone. They can spend an action to search this and then get a equipment card from this here equipment deck that you can see. So yeah, that's the map more or less. We also have these doors. In 2nd edition, especially this edition, each building has like doors at certain locations that you need to use door breaking equipment to open, and you'll have to spend an action for that as well. We also have epic weapon chests and objective chests, right? So as the name implies, epic weapons will allow you to draw from the epic weapon deck over here and get a really cool weapon, as you might imagine. These little red objective chests usually represent some type of objective that you need to get. And if they aren't anything special, then you just get 5 AP points. And then I should probably explain that. So if we look back at the player boards here, you can see there's, like I said, it's something of a heads-up display that, you know, you have in a video game, right? You've got your health bar in the form on the right side here of how many wounds a character has until they die. You got a little skull logo on the bottom, just in case you needed any more indication. Less than 3 wounds means dead, right? So you got 2 little equipment slots that have like this little hand logo. So this is what your survivor will have in hand and can use. On the left side, you have the skills that they currently have at their, you know, their current level. So like I said, with adrenaline points, you have this gauge at the bottom of each of these player boards. Now, survivors are going to earn AP, like I said, by doing things such as picking up objective chests, killing zombies, or maybe other things, depending upon the mission that you're playing, right? So as the AP goes up, like if it was to go to yellow, then Wanda here would gain the yellow skill, and she would have +1 action. And this is kind of how it always works across all the editions I've found. Like, you always start with 1 blue skill, and then you've got 1 yellow skill, and that yellow skill is always +1 action. So there's that. Anyway, so that's skills, that's the AP. Now, one other thing to mention about AP is, let me see if I can bring up one of these spawning cards here so y'all can see it real close. Put that in the camera. Alright, so this is a typical spawn card from the zombie spawn deck. Now, this is another way that you can sort of customize the game, by the way, is you can sort of tune your deck to the sort of difficulty that you want. The gameplay experience that you have will depend on what cards you do and do not include, how big the deck is. But on the right side of the card here, you can see you've got like this color-coded system here that's giving you these numbers for how many of a certain enemy type are going to spawn. And so this is how the game determines how many zombies will appear and where. And then there are also rules for how the zombies move and what they do. So zombies are, well, they're zombies, and they are automated by the rules of the game. Nobody controls them. Like I said, this is a cooperative game. The players are working together to try and survive and complete some objectives. All right. Now, in your typical game, you're going to have 6 survivors, and I've selected the 6 adult survivors from the Zombicide 2nd Edition core box. So these are kind of what I like to call the OG Zombicide survivors. Like these characters, for the most part, other than L, have been around for a long time. Like this game started in like 2013. Anyway, for the purposes of this game, though... Oh gosh, I just lost my train of thought. That's not good. Moving on. Next good thing for me to talk about, I would imagine, is just like how the turns more or less go. And again, this is kind of the same across many versions of Zombicide. You generally have two phases, right? You got the player phase and you got the zombie phase, and it really is that simple. Like, players will have whatever survivors characters that they have chosen, and each survivor is going to have X number of actions. Once you have activated all your survivors and they've done all the things that they can do, or that you want them to do, I should say, then survivor phase is over, or rather, I should say the player phase is over, and we move to the zombie phase. And like I said, you would be moving and spawning zombies as the rules dictate. And that's more or less how it works. There's really only one extra phase called the end phase, which I usually skip. Like, it's kind of like a cleanup phase for, like, you know, special stuff. I mean, the meat and the potatoes of this game is just the players do things, and then once they can't do anything else, the zombies do things, and then the players just try to, you know, do what they need to do, and yada yada yada. So, alright, one other thing I should probably explain real quick. A lot of the stuff that you see on the board here, the doors, the clips here that are holding the map together, and these objective crates and whatnot, this kind of stuff does not come with the core game. Neither do these fancy card holders that you should now be able to see. I'll try to position this camera so you can see just about all the action and the card decks. Yeah, so I got all this extra stuff off of Etsy, custom 3D printed stuff, which is pretty dope. Helps make the game a little bit better. So, alright, the only other thing probably to explain is on the edges of the map, we have these aforementioned zones that these zombies will be spawning. You can see these little cardboard tokens that fit neatly in these little custom clips that I got off of Etsy, which is pretty dope. We have one spawn zone that just has the number 1 on it, and that just kind of lets you know this is where you start spawning, and then you keep spawning in a clockwise fashion. And yeah, we will get to that. You'll see how that works. You'll see how all of these things work. Without further ado, we might as well just get started and just explain all the things as we go. Alright, so coffee sip done. We got 6 survivors here, like I said, and we got to decide who should go first and what they should do. Probably a good place to start would be Ned, who is what I like to call a looter character. He's pretty good at just finding stuff, like searching. His default skill is he gets a free search action, which means he can just search without needing to actually use one of his actions. And as I said, each survivor only gets 3 actions to start with. And Ned has found some water, which is awesome, and I probably need to shuffle this deck a little bit. Might have all the things that I kind of need at the top here. So yeah, this is kind of what we're doing in this mission. We actually need to find 3 food items, and this water does count for that. In addition, each survivor needs to pick up 1 of these objectives. So since we have 6 survivors, we need to get 6 objectives. So each individual survivor, like normally you just sort of pick them up, whoever just picks them up will like get the thing and they'll get 5 AP and it's fine. But in this mission, it specifically states each survivor has to have one. So we're going to keep track of who got one by putting the objective on their player board, so I can remember that, because it's important for winning the game, basically. You also have that, you can see you got that exit zone on the north side of the board there. We gotta get there, and or I usually sort of end the game once like all objectives have been completed and there's like a clear path to the exit zone that like zombies aren't gonna be able to like impede the survivors and whatnot. So rather than like having to move like a whole bunch of models, you'll see what I mean later on. Okay, so shuffled the equipment deck. Ned did his free search. He now has 3 actions left. It would probably be best to do what I was talking about. We'll have him take one of these objectives, and that means I get to slide his AP level up by 5 points for taking that objective. Alright, so now he has 2 actions left. Another action he can do is open up this door. So we just sort of take this little door out. We just put it off to the side here. And now we know this door is open and zombies and or survivors can just walk on through. So that's 2 actions for Ned. I think with his final action, he's just going to move outside. So he's here on the street and he'll be close to that next door over yonder to, open this building up. We might want to open it up from this way, because one other thing I might explain now is in buildings you have like regular rooms and you also have what the game calls dark zones. When you bust open a door for one of these buildings, zombies will spawn in these dark zones, but not these rooms, which is why I figure maybe here rather than here, because sometimes when zombies spawn they rush, meaning they instantly kind of activate. So yeah, possibly if Ned opens this door, he's going to have a whole bunch of zombies just in his zone, just right up in his face, which might be a bit of a problem. But that's Ned, and we've got 5 more survivors, right? So who should go next? Probably Amy, because she also can open doors. So we're going to have her. Yeah, it might make the most sense, honestly, for her to use her free move special skill, meaning she has 3 moves left, meaning she can go 1, 2, and then open this door. And Ned can probably open this door over here. And then we'll have 2 of the top buildings open. So 1, 2, third action is open this door with her fire axe. Now, normally there's a slight distinction here between the crowbar that Ned used and the fire axe that Amy just used. Like, this is supposed to generate a noise token here, and the noise tokens will normally be used to indicate like what the noisiest zone on the map is, so that when we have to determine where the zombies move, if the zombies don't have line of sight to survivors, they go to the noisiest zone. So sometimes noise tokens can help with that. Usually I just kind of guesstimate based upon like, a zone like this where the most survivors are, because survivors themselves will count as a noise token. But for now, we'll just introduce the concept of noise tokens. I'm just letting y'all know I may very well forget to put them down, because you're supposed to put them down every time somebody takes a shot. And yeah, we usually just don't use them in our games, me and my friends. So there's that. All right. Now that Amy has opened this door, like I said, we're going to do 2 spawns. So we draw from the spawn deck and we see what we get. We're going to start with the furthest room from Amy. So we get a runner card, and since we're still in blue, we take one runner model and we put it in this room right here. So that's where a runner spawns. Now we choose another card, and it's going to be 3 walkers. So we grab those models and we put them in the room right next to that runner here. So 1, 2, 3. Here comes the bride. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that's Amy. Now we have 4 more survivors. Now, probably going to go to my girl Wanda. We're going to have her do a couple of things. She can take this epic weapon. Now we draw. I might as well shuffle this deck just a little bit. It's not a very big deck. I might as well shuffle it anyhow. We'll take the top card, and she gets Evil Twins, which is nice. We prefer to have melee weapons for Wanda. That's kind of her specialty, but that's fine. We'll take that. So, she can also search, and that's 2 actions for her. She finds a machete. Okay. Let's see here. She'll keep this in her backpack just in case. It's not technically better than her baseball bat. We'll get a little bit more into weapons and how they work in a bit once it's time to actually attack something. Now, what's special about Wanda is she has these little roller skates, and that means she starts with the sprint ability. That means she can actually move 3 zones in 1 action by using sprint. She can only do this once per turn, but it means she can move faster than basically everything else on the map, which is dope. So 1, 2, 3, and now she's right next to Amy to back her up. In general, as you can imagine, you want to try to keep your survivors together so they can help each other out, watch each other's back, all that kind of jazz, as you would expect would be a good idea in a zombie apocalypse. Anywho, so we got 3 survivors left. Doug, Josh, and Elle. Alright, so who should go next? Probably, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm going to have all of them do basically the same thing. Might as well start with Elle. She is going to search. She finds an SMG. That's kind of cool. Alright, so, and we'll have her move twice. 1, 2, and be right here. And like I said, we're probably just going to have the other 2 do the same thing. Josh searches. He finds a katana, which is kind of cool. Alright. He moves 1, 2. We're going to have Doug search, and he's going to find a chainsaw. Doug, you need to give this to Wanda. Alright, so, and we'll move Doug 1, 2. He's probably going to trade that chainsaw with Wanda at some point, which is an action in and of itself. But, as I said, survivors have done all their actions. That ends the player phase. So now we do the zombie stuff. So, zombies, like I said, move to the noisiest zone if they don't have line of sight. And these here zombies in this building do not have line of sight to any survivors. Because when you're in buildings, you only have line of sight to adjacent zones within the building. If you were here, then you could see all the way down the street or something like that. But again, lines of sight are only in a straight line, right? No diagonals. So these zombies cannot see anybody. We got 3 and 3 here. So yeah, everything's just going to move straight forward. That's the only way they can move anyhow. Like, all the other paths are blocked. So yeah, everything is just right here now. Runners, as you might imagine, move a little bit faster than walkers do. It's kind of self-explanatory, right? When certain enemy types activate, then they will move a certain number of zones depending upon like the enemy type that you have. There's really only 4 enemy types in like sort of the core box. You know, walkers, runners, brutes, and abominations. They're all a little bit different, but we'll get into all that soon enough. So that was zombie movement. We move the zombies that are on the board, then we spawn for the spawn zones. So like I said, we start with spawn zone number 1, and now I've drawn an extra activation card, which actually means these walkers get to activate again, and they move into this zone here with these ladies. Now, if they activate again, they get to attack, which is not great. So let's hope that doesn't happen, but it also means nothing actually spawns here. We just drew an extra activation card for walkers. Alright, so now we get a walker rush card for this zone over here, and like I said, rush means you got zombies that instantly activate, so these walkers will move 1 space forward, as walkers do, to this street zone right here in front of that spawn zone. Alright, so now final spawn is going to be another walker rush, and yet again it's 4 walkers. So we grab 4 more models. Put them down here. They're going to be in the zone before that spawn zone. Okay. That is where they are. All right. Okay, and that was the zombie phase. And like I said, in the end phase, you just sort of clean up, and that means you usually remove the noise tokens. To be honest, I may not really use them very much anymore. Most of my games, I just kind of don't. Unless, like, the particular mission specifically says noise tokens need to be used to, like, indicate a certain thing and yada yada yada. Like I said, it's kind of tedious, like, putting down all the noise tokens for, like, every single shot and all that other jazz. So, it's best to kind of just guesstimate what the noisiest zone on the map is and just move the zombies in that direction, and it works out fine, more or less. Right, so zombie phase is done. Now we have another player phase, and we get to decide who's going to go first. So what we could do is maybe something clever, and we could have Doug go. We could have him spend 1 action to move, and then we could have him attack with this chainsaw, and if we're lucky, maybe he kills everything in the zone, and then he can just trade it to Wanda, or not. I don't know. These dice are funny sometimes, let me tell you. But here's our first attack roll. So, for all your weapons, you'll have 4 values usually. You've got range, you've got the number of dice that you get to roll when you use that weapon to attack. You've got the accuracy, which is like the number that you're going to need to like get a hit. And then you've got the damage, which will indicate what types of enemies you can kill with that weapon. Now, they keep it kind of simple, and there's really only 2 damage values for the most part. You've got damage 1 weapons, and you've got damage 2 weapons. There is no damage 3, so that'll come up later. But this chainsaw is damage 2, which is way more than we need to kill walkers. Doug needs to get 5 or more as he rolls 5 die for this chainsaw. So he did score 2 5s, which means he gets 2 hits. So 2 zombies are dead. Dead-er, I should say, right? So he gets 2 points for that. Alright, so that was 2 actions for Doug. I think I will use his 3rd action to just sort of hand the chainsaw over to Wanda. And she's gonna give him the baseball bat for now. Doug will probably be ditching that at some point, but I guess a bat is better than nothing, so cool. Wanda now has her chainsaw and the evil twins, so she's in pretty good shape. She might start, actually, by using these evil twins to just shoot at that runner inside that building. Now, she can do this because that runner is in this room, and it's only, she's in the street. That's, one zone into the building, so she can see the runner. She can shoot at it. She needs 3 or more on 2 die to hit the runner. So we get a 4, so the runner is dead. Okay. Runner's gone. Wanda gets 1 point. Okay. Cool. So, and yeah, you can do ranged attacks outside of your zone, even if you have zombies that are currently in your zone. Now, what's tricky is trying to do ranged attacks in your zone when you have other survivors in that zone. If Wanda had shot like this zombie here with those evil twins, she would risk like hitting Doug and Amy with every miss. So when you miss, you hit other survivors in that zone that you're targeting. So with that in mind, Wanda's going to switch to melee, which is her specialty anyhow, to try and kill this final zombie. So 5 die, 5 or more. Let's see if she can get a 5. And she does. She gets 2 6s, so this zombie is dead. Cool. And she gets 1 more point for that. So that was 2 actions for Wanda. She's going to use her second action, her final action, I should say, as a sprint. She'll go 1, 2, 3. And that means she's close to this objective, so she can be the one to grab that one. And then probably Amy is going to grab this other one since she doesn't have any one yet. So with that in mind, yeah, we'll just do that right now. Amy has not gone yet, so she uses her free move to move without using up an action. She still has 3 actions left. So first action is she can take this objective, we'll put it on her player board and give her 5 points. Alright. Another good move is to probably take this epic weapon that's just sort of staring her in the face. That's action 2, and then we get to draw from the epic weapon deck, and she gets a golden kukri, which is a little bit better melee-wise than her fire axe. So that's pretty dope. For the moment, she can open doors with her fire axe and do melee attacks with her golden kukri. Awesome. So that's 2 actions, and for her final action, she might as well do a regular old search to see if she can find a food item, and she does not. She finds a flashlight, and she's going to need to give that to Ned, because wow, I love giving Ned a flashlight, because as you may recall, he gets a free search action, and a flashlight will allow you to draw 2 cards from the equipment deck when you search. So this will be really good, especially for this mission, since we kind of need to just keep searching until we get 3 food items. Otherwise, we just can't end the mission. Okay, so that was Amy. We now have 3 other survivors. Probably Amy will have to give Ned that flashlight later, because right now the best use of him probably is to move him 1, 2, and then have him use his crowbar to open this door. This is a bit of a risk. Something might spawn in his face, but we have 2 unactivated survivors that could back him up. As I said, this is usually kind of risky to just move a survivor like this and to have them open a door as their last action so that there's just nothing else they can do, but here we are. We want to get these things. So now we do the spawning, because we got 2 dark zones here, and 1 is right in front of Ned. So first spawn, furthest away, is 2 brutes that rush. So we grab 2 brute models. Now brutes are kind of new. they basically indicate bigger, tougher zombies that you will require those tougher weapons such as the fire axe or the chainsaw or an automatic shotgun, what have you, the golden kukri, to like kill. If a survivor just has damage 1 weapons, they can't do very much of anything to brutes. So brutes pose a bit of a threat if you haven't been searching diligently to find those better weapons. But we only got 2, and they haven't done anything quite yet. They just sort of move forward. 1 more spawn. What happens next? Oh, okay. Well, we do have 1 brute that rushes and is now right in Ned's face. Okay, so we got a brute right here. Okay. So this is actually kind of an issue. It kind of looks like Ned is just going to take a wound here because, yeah, we've got 2 survivors left that can back him up, but neither of them have damage 2 weapons. Everybody with a damage 2 weapon has already gone, so yeah, Ned's taking a wound. Because basically, might as well explain right now, when zombies activate in your zone, they attack, and that survivor takes a wound. For the most part, you cannot save and or dodge a zombie attack, you just get a wound. So having zombies in your zone is kinda risky. It's dangerous because they might kill ya, but also they kind of restrict Ned's movement here. If Ned wanted to move out of this space, this zone, I should say, with 1 zombie in it, he has to use an extra action to be able to do so. So, with that in mind, if you have, like, these other 2 zombies in this zone as well, if there were 3 brutes here, Ned would be kind of stuck because he wouldn't have enough actions to actually be able to move out of the zone. And that's pretty bad because if he's stuck in that zone with the zombies and they all activate, that's 3 wounds and he's dead. As soon as 1 of your survivors dies, the game is over. Usually. That's mostly how it works. Again, there's many ways to play this game, but we're just keeping it simple, and this is mostly how your standard Zombicide game will go. Alright, so what we're probably just going to do is move these 2. I think that's the best thing. It's not sexy, it's not exciting, but each one is just going to use 1 action to just move here. And this kind of gives us a bit of a buffer here, right? Like, when we have 3 survivors in this zone, since you can't really save or dodge attacks, what you can do is spread out wounds among survivors. So if each survivor only takes 1 wound from these 3 brutes, and that's just kind of worst case scenario, I guess, then that's not terrible. So anyway, and we need to get into that building anyhow, so cool. That's what happens there. That is the player phase. We now do the zombie thing. So Ned does take 1 wound from that brute that is in his zone. These other brutes will move forward and be in this zone now. These walkers will move forward 1 space because they have line of sight to the 3 survivors over there. And we can assume this is the noisiest zone. So yeah, these walkers were just going to move here to this little intersection anyway. So that is the movement. Now we do spawning. First zone yields us 1 brute. Right here. Then we have 2 walkers that rush. The bride is back again. Right here. Okay. They done rushed forward. Okay. Then we gotta rush again. It's only 1 walker. Down here in the south. Bathrobe lady. Okay. Alright, so that was spawning and movement. Yep. Cool. Moving on. Now it is the next player phase. So, probably going to start with Wanda here. We're going to move her once. She's going to take this objective. That will give her 5 points. Since she's at 2, that brings her up to 7. She is now in yellow, and that gives her an extra action, as I was talking about earlier. Okay. This means she now has 3 actions left. She might as well grab this epic weapon crate while she's here. Otherwise, nobody else is going to get it. So she'll take this, and we'll see what it is. It is Ma's shotgun. I'm tempted to just, I think I will. We're just going to replace the evil twins with Ma's shotgun. That is kind of more appropriate for Wanda. She'll probably give those evil twins to Josh. It'll kind of match his model anyway, right? So, anywho, she moved, she took the epic weapon and the objective, so she should have 1 action left, meaning she can sprint once again. 1, 2, 3, and be back here where Amy is. Okay, so that's Wanda. Now, Amy probably, let me see, if she uses her free move, she'll be here. 1, 2. Okay, I think that would be best. I'm tempted to have her search here, but it would actually be really dope if we could just have her do a free move. 1, 2, and then she'll give this flashlight to Ned. So that will be just out of the way. Wait a minute. Wait. No. We're not going to do that. We'll do that later. We'll do that later. I just realized we'd be in a real pickle if she did that, right? Because she has a golden kukri, and she can kill at least some of these brutes with that golden kukri with her final action. And if she can kill at least like 2 of them with this one swing of her kukri, she can be in yellow and get an extra action anyway, and then she can hand that flashlight to Ned. Alright, so let's see how many 4s we get here. None. Well, it was worth a shot. we do have 3 survivors here, so there's that. We're not completely out of options, though, because Josh does have Slippery. So what that means is Josh ignores movement restrictions. He can move here and then grab this epic weapon, and maybe we'll get something to help us kill these brutes. And he does get a gunblade. Okay. So he's gonna replace his pistol with the gunblade. Alright. Now, it's a bit of a risk, but I'm gonna have him shoot at the brutes. This means any misses are going to go on those survivors there, but if I don't have him shoot, then we take 3 wounds anyway. So it's worth a shot. 2 die, 4 more, and he gets 1 hit and 1 miss. So we kill 1 brute. I guess we're taking 3 wounds anyway. Ned already took a wound, so I guess Elle takes 1. Okay, that's kind of rough. Ugh. I mean, if Amy can somehow get to red, she'd have a medic skill so we can heal these wounds. Otherwise, like 2 more wounds on some of these characters and the game is over already. That ain't a good sign. Alright, so that was Amy, that was Josh, that was Wanda. We still have Doug. Let's see. I mean, we could just move Doug into that zone and then spread out the wounds with him a bit. I guess that's a thing we could do. Like, Ned just kind of has to... Ned just kind of has to sit there and take it. Like, there's nothing he can do with these... Well, let's see. He's got 2... There's 2 zombies in his zone, and he has 3 actions. So... he could use all of his actions to move where Josh is, I suppose. And that would mean that... That wouldn't mean much. It would just mean he would not be available to take a wound. If we've got 4 survivors there and 2 wounds, we just take one with Doug and Amy, I guess, and that should probably be fine. So we'll move Doug here. Ned will do nothing. And we go to the zombie phase. Alright. So telling you all about these brutes. They are a threat because you need damage to weapons to be able to kill them at all. So as you can see, even though there's only 3 of them, they're kind of messing us up because like most of our weapons just can't do any gosh darn thing to them. So like I was saying, I guess Amy and Doug are both going to take a wound since we got brutes that are still in their zone. Okay. That's what happens there. Then we've got these zombies that inch a little bit closer, and so do these. And with these, I don't think it really matters which way they go. It's probably the same amount of spaces to get to this zone, so we might as well have them go this way. This lady will go there, and this brute will go here, and that's all the zombies on the map. So now we do some spawns. Alright, so first zone, we're in yellow now, so now we get 4 walkers that spawn here. Okay, spawn right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright. Next up, what do we got? Oh, that's cool. Alright, well, it's time to explain abominations now, I suppose. Alright. Basically, abominations are the enemy type we have not encountered yet. They are unique zombies that do special things, kind of, and they're also really difficult to kill. You kind of can't damage them unless you have like a special ability that grants you like extra damage, because it does take damage 3 to kill them, and damage 3 weapons do not exist in the 2nd edition game, right? So you need either a special ability that'll allow you to do like hit extra hard with either ranged or melee, or you also need a special item called the Molotov, which will kill everything in a zone, including abominations. So since abominations are unique, you have an abomination deck that, much like the zombie spawn deck, you can tailor. You can add and remove abominations from that deck, but you will always be drawing from the abomination deck to see which abomination spawns. Right, so we do get... Okay, wrong deck. Hold on a second. Wrong deck. Which one do we get? I'm trying to stick to like the core stuff here, so nothing special. Alright, we're going to get Patient Zero. Patient Zero does not do anything special. He's just a really big, chunky guy. with an IV jammed through his torso. So he kind of looks like Bane. Moving on. Now the thing about abominations as well, standard rules only allow for one abomination on the map at a time. So were I to draw another abomination card for this zone, that abomination there would just get an extra activation, so Patient Zero would move one zone forward. My cousin and I tried this special alternate rule where, like, each time you draw an abomination, you just have another abomination, and that was super interesting, especially since it was just a 4-tile map. It was pretty intense. So we kind of went back to the normal thing where you just have one abomination on the map at a time. Next spawn is going to be 3 walkers that rush down here. Okay, so Mr. Patient Zero, you do not get an extra activation. These 3 walkers way the hell down here do, which is fine with me. All right, we don't have to worry about them very much at the moment. Cool, that's the zombie phase. All right, so now we do have some options. We can go first with Amy. She has her golden kukri. We'll see if she can actually hit just anything this time. That was a pretty bad roll last time, Amy. And she does get 2 hits, killing both abominations. Bye-bye, boys. You dead. Okay, Amy gets 2 points. That puts her into yellow, meaning she does have an extra action, which is cool. That means she can use that to just give the flashlight to Ned, which is what I wanted to do earlier. Alright. Now, Amy already has an objective. She already has an epic weapon. She does have her little free move skill, so she could move into this building for no actions and still have 2 actions left. She could search and find plenty of bullets, which is not good for her, but it could be good for Josh, since he does have a gunblade, and Wanda is probably giving him the evil twins. Josh is going to be a shooty boy. So Amy, since she is standing right next to Josh, she can use her final action to trade with him. Josh will probably also ditch his pistol to free up his inventory a little bit. By the way, I forgot to explain, in addition to, let me see here, in addition to those little equipment slots, each player board has these little 3 slots in the back there that you can probably see. That's your backpack. Each character by default can carry 3 extra things with them. You can carry more if you have this additional skill called Horde, but other than that, each person has an inventory of 3 slots. So you gotta be judicious, I suppose, with what it is you have on you. Just throw the junk like you would in any kind of video game that you don't need, so you can carry the good stuff. Alright, so that was Amy. She gave Josh plenty of bullets. Plenty of bullets is good for ranged characters, because it means they can re-roll if they have a particularly bad roll, like Amy did with that golden kukri, where she didn't get a single hit. You can re-roll that shot because, well, you've got plenty of bullets. You've got like a ton of extra ammo. So each individual ranged action can be re-rolled once when you have a card like that. Now, I should probably also explain a little bit, just to get a little nerdy here. On the card, you can see there's like a little bullet logo there on the right side and about the middle, more or less. That kind of lets you know the ammo type for that gun, Now, ammo really doesn't mean anything in this game other than, like, what type of card you need to be able to re-roll your shots. And you really only have bullets and shells. So once again, it's kind of streamlined. They keep it somewhat simple-ish, not super complex. This is mostly just a cooperative battle game. It only gets as complicated as you want it to be. Alright, so Josh now does have something decent going on here, but like I said, it would be cool if Wanda could give those evil twins to Josh. So I think we're going to try to make that happen. Wanda can sprint 1, 2, 3 and be right here. She can move in here. Okay, so that was 2 actions. Sprint, move. Wanda does have 4 actions, so she can use 1 action to trade with Josh. Josh will ditch his katana and have the evil twins. And he'll be in a pretty good situation then, because Gunblade allows for both, well, as the name suggests, it's a gunblade, right? It lets you do melee and ranged. You get different stats for which attack that you happen to be using. But Gunblade has a big old blade on it. So this is a decent combo for Josh because the Gunblade allows him to do damage 2 attacks. Evil Twins allow him to do damage 1, but Evil Twins give him a slightly more accurate ranged attack. So Josh is a shooty boy now. Sometimes, like, the AP level of your character in this game, like, you know, as in how many points they can get in any game, sort of depends on like, the equipment that they luck out, like, getting. So, like I said, Josh is kind of the most well-equipped guy on the map at the moment. He may well be starting to rack up the most kills. So, we'll see. Anywho. Wanda does have 1 action left, and we're going to use that to search to see if maybe she can find a food item, and she doesn't. Okay, so I'll show this to y'all. Sometimes when you search, you get this. You get an A card, and what that means, well, much like in every zombie movie you've ever seen, sometimes when you're doing stuff, a zombie just pops out of nowhere that you didn't see, you didn't know they were there. This guy was in a closet someplace and we had no idea he existed. So, okay, there was that. That's what happened when Wanda was searching for things. So we have an extra zombie there now. Alright. So, Josh can still move though. So I think what he's going to do is use his gun blade I was just talking about. He's got a big old blade on that. And we'll roll 4 die. And he doesn't have an objective yet, so he should kill this zombie and try to get that objective. And he gets 3 hits, actually. So this zombie is, like, super dead. I guess he stabbed it, like, 27 times, like OJ or something? Anyhow, so, that is 1 action. Melee attack to kill that zombie. Josh has... he hasn't done much of anything yet, has he? So he only has 2 actions left. So he might as well use those to just move and grab this objective, so that now he has 1, and we're going to bump him up to 6, because he got 1 point for killing that zombie, and 5 points for getting that objective. So now we just need to get objectives for Elle and Doug, and we need to find 2 more food items. Once we have that, we just need a clear line to the exit, and we're good. And we don't have that yet, so we just keep on rolling. So who hasn't gone yet? I think it's these 3 right here. So, definitely we're going to have Ned go next. He's going to move for 1 action. Then he's going to do a free search action and draw 2 cards. And he gets a machete and a sawed-off. Okay. this would have been good, like, earlier. Um, You know what? I think Ned might ditch his crowbar for now. The crowbar kind of sucks. And we do have two other characters that can open doors. And boy, you know what? Wanda has her chainsaw, and Wanda she really comes in handy with the chainsaw. Very zippy. She's great at just making some distance, and giving her the ability to open doors is just clutch. So that's cool. Anyhow, that is Josh. Well, no, Ned. Ned moved, free search. He has just 2 actions left because he is not in yellow yet, as I can see. Okay, so. Alright, because he has not killed a single zombie yet. Alright, okay, Ned. Step up your game, buddy. 2 actions left, and let's see. Yeah, there really ain't much Ned can do. I might as well just have him move back out. I wouldn't want to have him move here, because that's a bit too close to these zombies. And the shotgun he just got, it really doesn't have much of a range. So he'd have to use his final 2 actions to be here, so he can just sit there and stare at these zombies. So let's just have him move back outside, since he can't search again. By the way, let's mention that now. Characters can only search once, and this also includes Ned with his free search action. I know that threw me for a loop, at least initially, with this game. Like, Ned gets a free search action, right? So that means he can search twice? No. Ned can search once. Everyone can search once. There is only one character that I know of, Ostara. She's a kid. We're probably going to include her either next mission or the mission afterwards. She can search multiple times, which is just awesome. We have her in almost every game, really. It's kind of OP. Anywho, all I have to say, yeah, you can only search once. That's like the only action in this game that you have a cap on. Everything else you can kind of chain up and do as many times as you want. You cannot spam search, though, right? Now, just for funsies, I'll also mention now, while I'm talking about potential actions, we could have Ned shout. Yes, like, making noise is an action in this game. So really, I could have Ned just, like, scream his head off, and then we'd put an extra noise token there, which is, I guess, an interesting mechanic. Like, you could have a survivor be in a zone and just use, like, 4 actions for making noise, and then, like distract the zombies to that location while, you know, other people are trying to do other stuff. So there's that. But I have ADHD, and I keep forgetting to put these goddamn noise tokens down. So I don't know. I've just never used the make noise action. Interestingly enough, you've already seen me do this, by the way, but I didn't explicitly state it. Do nothing is also an action. You can just say, yeah, do nothing, right? Because, like, sometimes, like, you've seen this multiple times in this playthrough, like, sometimes there's just nothing you can do. There's, like, a limited amount of things that a person can do, so you never have to use all of your actions. That's how I usually explain it. You never have to use them all. With that all being said, I believe we only have 2 more characters left. We have Doug and we have Elle, and with both of them, I think the smartest play is to have them move inside and search, because we need to find food. One at a time here. We're activating Elle. Let's not get confused. Elle moves and she searches. We need food, but boy, if we could find a Molotov, that'd be great. Well, she finds a shotgun, and that's something. Now, Elle is kind of OP because she has the sniper ability to begin with. And that means, in theory, she could be dual wielding sawed-off shotguns and shoot at a zone with other survivors. And since she has sniper, not only can she select her targets, at a certain point we'll get into like targeting priority. And when I do, I'll probably also mention the reason I painted the zombies in this way is to try and remind myself like where they fall on the targeting priority list for the most part. But when you have sniper, you ignore friendly fire. So yeah, that could happen. She could have 2 double-barreled sawed-off shotguns, just shoot at a big group of people, and just conveniently miss, like, the people that she wants to miss somehow. Because she applies sniper to every ranged weapon, which is kinda dope, actually. I sort of exploit the hell out of it, if I'm honest. Alright, so with all that said, Doug. Doug is the last one to go here, right? We can move him in and do the same thing. Does Doug find a thing? Okay, now we get to see Doug's ability. Doug has matching set. He has found, let's see here, a machete. Now you can see in the upper left corner of this card, we've got the dual wield symbol, which means Doug, first of all, since he has matching set, he can go into the deck and find another machete and pull that out. Where's the other machete? It's gotta be in here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Doug has 2 machetes. Alright. Now when you're dual wielding, we're going to put Doug's extra stuff in his backpack for now. He's going to dual wield machetes. That means he can basically just combine these weapons, and now he can attack with a machete, but he can roll 2 dice when he attacks. So it's not super OP, especially not with just the machete, because you only roll 1 die per attack. But at the moment, it's better than nothing, and he gets to pull out another machete for free. So why the hell not, right? So yeah, Doug has double machetes. Cool. So that is the player phase, and we're going to move the zombies. These guys move to this intersection. These 2 move there. Patient 0 moves here. Noisiest zone is this way, so all these zombies are going to wander over like so. Yes, the brute is going to merge with this group. This group is going to move forward. And that is all the movement. Now we do some spawns. So first spawn is 1 brute that rushes. So this gentleman will be here with this group. Next spawn is 1 runner. So let's grab a runner and put 1 over here on the east side of the map. Last spawn is 2 runners. So we grab 2 more runner models and put them down on the south spawn zone. 1, 2. Okay, movement and spawn. Zombies are getting a little bit closer now. Okay, so we took some damage. That's not great. We have much better equipment now, though. So we're in a slightly better position. Boy, I would love it if we could somehow find a Molotov. So I don't know. With that in mind, I might just have Ned move back inside real quick and like do a search. He can get 2 things, and if we're lucky, maybe one of them is a Molotov. He gets another flashlight, which he will keep and give to somebody else, and a pistol that he's immediately just going to discard. Okay. So who should get the other flashlight? Probably Wanda, since she's so zippy. That would be kind of nice. So I'll give her the flashlight. So Ned did a move, a free search, a trade. He should have 1 action left because he's still in blue. I'm just going to keep him right there. Because why would I have him move back outside just to probably move him back again to do another... We might just leave him there to just keep on searching, maybe. I don't know. That's not much of a fighter at the moment. Okay, with that in mind, everybody else can still go. We do still need to get an objective for Doug and Elle, so they kind of need to venture out of here. Who is our best attacker? It's kind of Josh, and he kind of does need some points, so what might be good is for him to move twice, 1, 2, and then take a shot with his evil twins. If that gets him some points, then he goes into yellow because he's 1 point away, and he gets an extra action, and then he can shoot again, which would be kind of dope. So 3 or more, he hits these zombies in front of him. And he misses. But he's got plenty of bullets, so he gets to re-roll that. And he gets 2 hits now. So now he kills these 2 zombies. And we bump him up 2 points. 1, 2. So he has an extra action, meaning he gets to shoot again. He's going to shoot with the evil twins again at the zombies right in front of him. And wipes them out because he got 2 hits. 2 zombies dead. And we bump him up 2 more points. Cool. Alright, so that was Josh. We got 4 more people that can go. Who should probably go next? Let's see. We probably want to go down here to get this objective. And then we need to get this objective here. So... Boy, this guy's right here. Hopefully, I don't know, we can have him go this way some kind of way. That way we can play Ring Around the Rosé with him more or less, because we don't have any way to kill him at the moment. But we do need to get these 2 objectives here and 2 more food items as well. So, and we've got 4 more people that can go. We might start. Let me see, who would be able to... Not really Elle. Either Amy or Wanda should go, I would suppose. Yeah. Probably Wanda. We'll have her lead the charge. But Elle can move 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. That's her entire action. Same with Doug. Alright. In theory, Wanda can get down here with her sprint and attack these zombies, but I don't think that would be a great idea. What would probably be a better idea is to have, let's see, Elle is shootier, so we're going to have her move 1, 2, and take a shot at those 2 zombies right there with her shotgun. She'll get some points from that, I hope. She's going to roll 2 die, hit on a 4 more, and she gets 2 hits, and she kills them both. Lucky. Okay, that's cool. So that's still just 2 points, but that's something. And those zombies are now gone. Cool. So that was Elle. Doug, I don't know. I might as well have him search and then move twice and be right where L is. So he's going to search and find plenty of shells. Okay. If he could give that to Wanda, that would be dope. So he's going to do that. He did search. He's going to trade with Wanda. So that will apply to Ma's shotgun that she has. And then Doug can use his final action to move down here with Josh. Alright. So Wanda... Let me see. She could... Yeah, you know, it would be fine to have her just sprint. 1, 2, 3... And then she could unload on this group with her shotgun and just take a step back. You could shave some off here. And then I can also talk a little bit about targeting priority as I do this. Targeting priority mainly comes into effect when you've got like a group of multiple enemy types and you're shooting at them. In melee, you can select which targets you want to attack in a group. Whereas when you're shooting to another zone, you kind of have to shoot at whichever sort of enemy is the highest priority. Now, in this instance, it's going to represent the fact that, like, brutes are bigger than walkers, so you're going to hit them first. And that's kind of why I color-coded the bases this way, as I was mentioning earlier. We got yellow for brutes and abominations, because they both have the same targeting priority. You're going to hit them first, but you get to choose between abominations and or brutes. Walkers are orange, so they come next. The color is kind of matched with the AP gauge, you see. Yellow, orange, and then red for the runners. They are the speediest enemies, so you kind of hit them last. If there's a group of enemies with runners in it, you are not going to hit them by shooting unless they are like just the last model standing, pretty much. So, anywho, with all that said, Wanda is now going to shoot, and she's going to kill the brute first, and maybe one walker. She gets 2 misses, but we did give her plenty of shells, so she gets to re-roll that. And she gets 1 hit now. Okay, so she does kill that brute. Okay, cool. So, she gets 1 more point for that. Now, I should probably also explain the gun that she's using, Ma's shotgun, is not just yet another combo weapon that can do melee and or ranged. It also is a sawed-off shotgun, meaning it has the reload keyword on it. So, as you can imagine, like, when you're shooting a sawed-off gun and it only has 2 shells, you run out of ammo with 1 trigger pull. So, the game sort of takes that into account by saying, alright, if you want to shoot more than once with a sawed-off shotgun, you have to spend a reload action to be able to shoot again in the same turn. So that end phase I was talking about once upon a time, things like that will happen in the end phase. Okay, so like if you have shot a reload weapon, your character just kind of automatically reloads in the end phase, and you don't have to worry about that. You can shoot again in, the next turn without having to spend a reload action. Okay, so cool. So like I was saying, we're going to end Wanda here by just having her take a step back, because that would be a bit safer, I think. Play on the safe side here. All right. Now I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think Amy has gone yet. I think she's the last one. I don't think I went with her yet. Alright, she's the only one that can do stuff now, so what we're going to do is have her search. Amy finds an SMG, which is not great. Like, she could give it to Elle, and Elle could dual wield, but I'd rather not, because Elle's shotgun is damage 2, and I like having a combo of damage 2, damage 1 weapons for each character. I mean, you want to have damage 2, so that way you can kill brutes, because, well, you saw why you want that earlier. We took all them wounds, because we just couldn't do anything to them, but anyway, so she found that. That's not really useful. We'll have her use her free move. So she does search, free move, and then she'll move here and just be right here with these other ladies. And she's just gonna cool her heals right there and not do anything else. Cool. So that's the player phase. Now we have the zombies move. Patient 0 lumbers forward. Runner moves twice to be right by patient 0. Shortest path. We might as well say these zombies move in basically the same direction because it's the same path either way. These zombies move forward. These zombies move forward. This one obviously will move this way because that is a shorter path. This group merges with the bathrobe lady. So you can see this happens in this game at these intersections. Like, different groups will merge to make bigger mobs of zombies, which is awesome and cool and good. These runners will move to this intersection. They sprint on forward. Okay, and that is the movement. Now we're going to do some spawning. First spawn is 8 walkers. Grab 8 models. That's a pretty big spawn for just yellow. Okay. Once we get to orange and red, then we'll see some numbers, but alright. Yeah, these spawn cards, they're kind of a roll of the dice as to what value you'll get at what sort of AP level you're at. So some are bigger than others, and that's what I was talking about earlier with like tailoring the deck. Like the spawn cards are numbered, and the rulebook will let you know which numbers to include. And the higher numbers tend to have like the higher spawn values and more rushes, and the extra activations are all the way at the end if you really want to challenge. And of course I hate myself, so I'm playing with a full deck. But anyway, 2 more spawns. We got 4 runners over yonder on the east side of the map. So we place them down. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are right behind the abomination and that other runner over here. Okay, and we got 1 more spawn. And then I'm going to pour myself some more coffee to wake the hell up. My brain kind of runs on caffeine and amphetamines. ADHD. I take Adderall. Okay, it's a prescription. It's fine. It's not controversial anymore, internet. Thank you. All right, so 1 more spawn. Okay, we get another abomination card, and like I was saying earlier, first of all, what's kind of interesting is this particular card is like different than the other card we first got. So like at blue, there's 0, meaning nothing spawns. So some abomination cards, you dodge a bullet, nothing happens like at the beginning of the game, which is kind of cool because you probably don't have that Molotov to kill the abomination. But that said, we have patient 0 here, so patient 0 gets an extra activation, moving him here, which is actually kind of good, really, because now we definitely get to do Ring Around the Rosie, like I was saying earlier. We just got to carve our way through these Zeds right here and probably miss patient zero entirely. Although Ned is still way the hell back here. So he had better find himself a Molotov as he's rummaging through here. Now, what's interesting, of course, is like, in theory, Ned can just stay there indefinitely and no zombies are ever gonna come to him, right? Because, like, he's not making enough noise to draw zombies to his location, and he's inside of a building, meaning, like, zombies would really only be able to see him if they move right here, and they're not going to, are they? Because, like, the noisiest zone is right here with these ladies right now. They're stomping extra hard, I guess. So, yep. I mean, Wanda has them roller skates, so maybe she didn't, take care of them very well, and she needs some WD-40 on them. Alright, so all that to say, yeah, Ned can just keep searching there and hopefully he finds that food and that Molotov that we need, and nobody's gonna bother him while he does that. That's pretty goddamn sneaky, Ned. So, Abomination gets that extra move, and because we drew that card here, nothing spawns here. The Patient Zero just moves an extra time. And that brings us to the player phase. We now get to decide what to do, and like I said, we know what to do. We're carving through these zombies right here. So probably we're starting with Wanda. Yeah, we're probably starting with Wanda, and then Amy, and then Elle, and yeah, Josh is pretty cool too. And Doug is going to bring up the rear, because all he's got is his dual machetes, and he's still in the blue. So, yeah, Wanda's going to start us off here. She's going to, first of all, just, I don't know, take a shot with her shotgun. So she can just do that right now. She'll shoot at the zombies that are right in front of her. And that's 2 hits. Pretty cool. All right. We take out these 2 zombies. And Wanda gets 2 more points. 1, 2, bringing her up to 10. Nobody is near orange just yet. We really only have, like, 3 characters that are in yellow. Anywho. Alright, so that is Wanda's shot. And like I said earlier, she can really only shoot that shotgun once per turn unless she wants to actually spend an action reloading. And since she only has 3 actions left, she might as well move forward and then go into melee. So she now has her chainsaw that she can roll 5 die with and hit on a 5 or more. For now, if we get Wanda into orange, what I usually do is make her melee a little bit more accurate, so she would hit on a 4 or more with a chainsaw as opposed to a 5 or more. But as is, she gets 3 hits, so she kills all these zombies in 1 melee attack. So that's pretty cool, and she gets 2 more points. And even though she has 1 more action, I kind of think she should just stay there. We do have 3 more characters that can attack. Alright, well, let's see here. I think what might be best is to then move Elle forward. She's going to do a bunch of shots with her shotgun. And well, she can really only do 2 because she's still in blue. So we're going to have her move forward and take a couple shots with her shotgun. She might kill that brute and a couple other zombies, get a few points, get her closer to yellow. She misses both times. No extra ammo, so that's just a big ol' miss L. The sniper L, by the way. So 2 hits this time. Cool. So yeah, she hits the brute as we discussed. Brute first, then the Walker. Those are both dead. Move those models. Elle gets 2 points, and that is her turn. Okay. So that's Wanda and Elle. Let's see. We can have Josh. It might make most sense for him to move twice and then shoot twice. He can go 1, 2. And with his evil twins, he can shoot twice at this group of zombies if he needs to. Okay, so that's a 5 and a 3. He gets 2 hits. He does have plenty of bullets, so he can re-roll if he gets all misses. So Josh scores himself 2 more points. And he gets 1 more shot. 3 or more. And that's 2 hits. 4 and a 3. Josh kills them all. Cool. Go Josh. 1, 2. Josh is now at 14. So he's getting closer to orange. Alright, so Amy has no ranged weapons. And we got these runners here and this big group of, 8 zombies right here. Again, not sexy, not super exciting, but it might be best for her to just use her free move. And in theory, she has 4 other actions she could use, but we're just not going to use them. She's just going to move with the group, and Doug will probably do the same thing. 1, 2, and be with the group here. We're all just going to hold down between these 2 buildings, and then stuff will move, and then we'll move forward together next turn, and Ned will just keep searching frantically for that Molotov and or food that we need. So that's the plan. Let's move stuff. Patient 0 moves right behind us. This runner will move right with him. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it doesn't matter which direction these zombies move in. I can just choose which direction they move, which means I'm going to choose that they move this way. Because that'd be cool. And these runners will merge with them because they move 2 spots at once. Now these runners kind of have to move this way. This is a shorter path for them, so they will be right in front of our intrepid survivors here. This big group of zombies will move right in front of the door that we need to bust. Okay, and that is movement. So now we need to do 3 spawns. Alright, so first we get 2 brutes that rush, which means they're going to merge with this big old group that's right in front of the door that we need to bust. That's cool. Alright, next spawn is 5 walkers that rush. Grab 5 walker models. Yep, that's 5. Okay. Get a firefighter. A lady of the night. She's got a trench coat on and not much else, I think. Guy in the sweater vest. Dude with a sign through his torso. Another trench coat guy. Alright. Yep. Last spawn. Oh, they rush too, so they're right here. They get an instant activation. Good thing I remembered that. Final spawn is 3 runners. 1, 2, 3, and they're going to be on the south side of the map. Right. By the way, I might as well take this moment to just point out, I don't know if y'all have noticed by just seeing from this camera here, but I kind of took the extra effort to paint a variety of skin tones for the zombie horde. So, because this is supposed to happen in, any town, USA, kind of. Like, it'd be weird if it was just nothing but white people. So, there's that. I just thought I might mention that. I did that because I wanted to. It took a lot longer to do that than normal, to just paint them all. There you go. Fun fact. That's the zombie phase. So, player phase. Next player phase. Boy, Ned better find that Molotov right, because he is cut off from everybody else at the moment. But, like I said, no one is going to wander into that little room that he's at. He is very close to the exit, too. So, that's probably a good position for him. He can't aid us in a fight, but he's not a great fighter at the moment anyway. So, yeah, maybe he should just keep searching. Although, he can't really hold that much else, now that I think about it. He's got one additional slot. I could always have him ditch one of his weapons and just put the flashlight in his hand so he could carry more stuff. That's an option. Anyway, and I don't know, we might do that. We might as well just start with Ned. Let's say he ditches the shittier weapon, which is the machete. He'll just throw that out before he searches, and he'll put the flashlight in his hand. In theory, that's one action, but since I'm not really planning on doing very much with him other than searching, it's fine. So we'll take 2 cards, and we get a sniper rifle and plenty of bullets. So that's not what we want, but it's something. Keep looking, Ned. Alright, so that was Ned. I'm not having him do anything else. I mean, in theory, I could have him go outside and take a shot, I think. Because all he really did was just, like rearrange, free search. He should have 3 more actions left. I don't want him wandering outside, though, because, line of sight, all the zombies would go straight to him rather than just completely ignoring him. So we're going to move on to the rest of the group that's going to do all the action-y type stuff. Who should start? Let's see. Tactically? Probably Josh, since he's the shooty boy. Yeah, Josh is the shooty boy. We'll have him go first. Elle can go whenever, because sure, she's shooty too, but... Well, then again, Elle needs some points. Alright, we're going to have Elle go first, actually. She will start with her shotgun. We need her to get into yellow. That would be great if she had an extra action. So, let's see if she hits with her shotgun. And she hits 1 runner. 1 runner is down. She gets 1 point. A little bit closer to yellow. Second shot. Okay, 1 hit. That runner is down. Cool. Elle is 1 point closer to yellow, but she is still not actually in yellow. Meaning she really only has 1 action left, so we're going to move her forward 1. Because we want her closer to that objective, because we need her and Doug to get the next objectives. Elle is closer, so it might be her. I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. Because these other 3 characters might just clear. Well, boy, now that I think about it, we really want them to clear this mob, because if we don't kill any of them, they all just move on Elle. And if we get any extra activations, she's kind of super dead, right? So, with that said, We'll move Josh first because he does not have sniper, and he's the shooty boy. So we're gonna shoot with him. We'll start with his gunblade since that's damage 2, so it'll be able to kill those brutes. 2 die. He hits on a 4 or more, and he does hit. So he kills 1 brute. That was move, shoot. He should have 2 actions left. Alright, he'll take 1 more shot with the gunblade. And he gets 1 hit, so he kills that brute. Alright. I think I forgot to record those points that he got. Alright, he got 2 more points. Fine, so now that the brutes are dead, he can open up with the evil twins. Same amount of die, but much more accurate. So now he hits on a 3 or more. He gets 1 more shot. And he gets 1 hit. I'm not going to reroll that. He gets a hit. So that's fine. We kill 1 zombie and give Josh 1 more point, and he is so close to orange. We get Josh into orange, and he gets a free combat action. And I guess I could probably explain really quickly what that means. Like, you've got ranged attacks and melee attacks. But combat, whenever it says combat, that just means either or. So a free combat action applies to his gunblade melee and or to his gunblade ranged. So, yes, free attack action for Josh if we can get him into orange. Although, as I was explaining earlier, if Josh goes into orange, so does the whole map, and more zombies spawn, and Josh is the only one in orange. So, that's not great, but we'll see what happens, right? So, okay, we've got 3 more people to go. Both of our girls are kind of melee, but we might as well have Wanda go first so she can take a shot with her shotgun. So we'll probably have her sprint so that way she can get to this group of zombies in 1 action. And now she has 3 actions left. She will take 1 shot with her shotgun. And those were both misses, but she has plenty of shells, so she can now re-roll that. And they're... She got 2 2s twice in a row. Okay, I guess we were destined to miss that one. That's fine. So that was her shot. She now has 2 actions left, so she's gonna switch to her chainsaw. She now hits on a 5 or more, and she can roll 5 dice. Yeah, that's 1 hit. Damn it, if we had her in orange, that'd be 3 hits. She got a 6, so that's 1 zombie down. 6 zombies left. Okay, so between this last attack, Amy and Doug, we better kill some more zombies, or we're kind of in trouble here. But Wanda does get 1 more attack. Amy gets a free move, and she can probably attack twice, and Doug can attack at least once with his twin machetes, so we don't need to be super worried. How many does Wanda kill? Oh, this time she gets 4 hits. Okay. So let's mark this down. She got 1 hit initially because she missed with her shotgun. She got 1 hit with her first, and now she gets 4. So that brings her up to 17. Now she's almost in orange. We remove 4 zombie models. All right. So now Amy uses her free move, and then she moves, and now she has 3 actions left. So she will use her golden kukri to try and kill these zombies. 4 dice, hits on a 4 or more. And she gets 3 hits, so she kills them all. They are all dead. Dead-er. Zombies are not alive. Anyway, so she gets 2 points for those kills. Okay, so at this point, let's see. She did free move, attack. She should have 2 actions left. We might as well use one of those actions to open this door with her fire axe that she still has. So now that door is open, and we will spawn one thing in there, and that thing is 2 brutes. Okay, we plop 2 brute models down here in this little dark zone room. They are guarding the objective, I suppose. All right, and then Doug is going to do the smart thing, and he's just going to move 1, 2, and that's it. Like, I probably shouldn't move him here, since nobody can do anything else, and, like, those brutes will just sort of waltz on up and say hi, and if they get an extra activation for whatever reason, Doug takes 2 wounds, and I think he already has 1 wound, so that'd kill him. That'd not be great. Now we are close to a spawn zone too, so who knows what the hell is going to happen there. Hopefully nothing terrible, but yeah, that's the player phase. We now move. These brutes do move into this room. Yes, patient 0 moves here. This runner will move here with Elle and Josh. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're not really doing Ring Around the Rosie with this guy, because he's kind of about to cut us off here, isn't he? Shortest path for this group? Probably either or. So let's have these runners move to this intersection. And I guess this group of zombies will follow suit. This group of zombies will also move forward. And that's all the movement for this. No, we got this other group of runners down here that moves to this intersection. Okay. So, 3 more spawns. Alright, we got 2 walkers. That's pretty good. It's just 2 walkers that are right next to us. See if we score a walker extra activation. 2 more spawns. The Abomination gets an extra activation though, so he's right here by Elle and Josh. That's not great. Okay, nothing spawns there, but the Abomination is just right next to us, just about to say hi. So alright, if he gets an extra activation, then he wounds somebody. Otherwise, somebody needs to kill that runner, and then Josh can just move away from the Abomination for free because he has Slippery, but Elle will need to use an extra action to move away from the Abomination. But they both need to get the hell out of Dodge, and we need to find a Molotov to be able to kill the damn thing. And he's kind of backing us into a corner, so that's not great. Alright, 1 more spawn, and we'll see what that brings us. Is 2 runners down here on the south side, so that's not terrible. No extra activations for anybody else, just 2 runners down here on the south side. Okay, so now it is the player phase once again. And like I was saying, what we probably need to do first is, I guess, I mean, either person could go first to kill this runner here, as I was talking about. It might as well be Josh. We'll have Josh go first. So, he will, let's see, use... Oh, wait a minute. No. Josh can go first. It's fine. Because he has his gun blade. So he'll use his gun blade to try and kill that runner. Rolls a 4, hits on a 4 more, and yeah, we kill that runner. And yeah, actually, we would kind of, now that I think about it, we would kind of have to do it that way. It's only melee that allows us to choose the runner. So, yes, Josh kills the runner with his gunblade. Runner is dead. Josh gets one more point. He's like right there. We're about to put Josh in orange because he's going to do Slippery for his second action. And he is going to shoot at those brutes with his gunblade twice. That's what he gets to do. And if we get him into orange, he gets a free combat action, and he can shoot again, which is pretty dope. So let's see if he kills these brutes. That's a miss for Josh, but he's got plenty of bullets, so he gets to re-roll that. What does he get on the re-roll? He gets the same thing, a 1 and a 2. Wow, okay. So that final shot, Josh, can you kill one of these brutes? Pretty please. Alright, he gets 1 hit. Cool. 1 brute is dead. And that's 1 more point for Josh, and like I said, that puts him into orange. He now gets a free combat action. I think with what he's got equipped, that's probably better than 1 extra die for melee attacks. Sure, that would allow him to roll 5 die for his gunblade, but I kind of think an extra shot would be a lot better. So he gets to take 1 more shot at this brute to kill the final brute in that room. Can he do it? On a 4 or more, he does have plenty of bullets, so he gets 1 reroll. And he does get a hit, so that brute is dead. Cool. So that worked out pretty good. Although, like I said, we are now in orange, so we need to get Wanda into orange. That would be great. We could just have her shoot with her shotgun, although, let's think about this. First of all, Doug needs to grab that objective. So we're going to have Doug. This has to happen. 1, 2, and he grabs the objective. And that's what he can do. So he gets that. He gets 5 points. That will bring him into yellow. So he's now just barely in yellow. He gets an extra action, meaning he can almost certainly use that extra action to do a search and maybe find a good thing. Well, he gets a sawed-off. Alright, and since it's Doug, we can search the deck to see if there's another sawed-off in here somewhere. And then he can dual-wield sawed-offs, which is just a little bit better than dual-wielding machetes. Alright. Doug is now also a rather shooty boy. Alright. He's going to discard these starting weapons from his backpack. Move the machetes to his backpack. Now, when you find things, you usually get sort of like a free rearrange of your inventory to, equip the things that you just found. Rearrange will only count as an action if, you're just doing that. Just because you kind of have to. But, alright, so that's Doug. Now, we also have Wanda, Amy, and Elle that can go. I think it would be nice, like I said, if Wanda can get into orange. It won't allow her to do anything else extra. We could give her Slippery so she could be like Josh. That would be kind of nice, but really, I always give her those more accurate melee rolls. So I kind of think that's a hell of a lot better than just plain old Slippery. As useful as Slippery can be. So Wanda is usually kind of a juggernaut for me. She's gonna roll 2 die for her Maz shotgun to shoot at those zombies right in front of her. And she hits both times. She kills them both, and that scores her 2 points. And that will bring her to orange, which is great. So now that means she is more accurate with her chainsaw, which is great. It doesn't really help her right now, but that's still pretty cool. Let's see. So, problem is, her inventory is kind of full. She does have a flashlight. Boy, that must be nice if she could hand that off to Elle that has a completely free inventory. Or, you know what? She might just hand that off to... We'll do a trade. She did a shot, and now she's going to do a trade. She's going to give Amy the flashlight. Amy's going to toss the SMG so that Amy will have 2 slots free. And then Wanda should have 2 actions left. Shot, trade. She can move. And then she might as well search. I don't think I really want her taking the epic weapon. She's going to ditch the machete and then search and find a Molotov. Thank frickin' goodness. That's right on time. Okay, so big weight off of me here. All right, so we need Elle to get the hell out of Dodge, though. So she's gonna need to use an extra action to move away from the abomination. That means she uses 2 actions to move here. And then I might as well have her use her remaining action to just move in here so she can search in the next player phase. And the only person that hasn't gone yet would be Amy. I think Amy hasn't gone yet. This gets a little confusing sometimes when you got 6 survivors and you're all by yourself. I kind of think Amy hasn't gone yet, so we're just going to have her do a free move and a search. Right, and when she searches, she can take 2 cards, actually. So let's see what she finds. Hopefully a food item? No, but she does get a Molotov, meaning we have 2 Molotovs now. She also finds a sniper rifle. And I kind of think I might just ditch her fire axe and give her the sniper rifle. This means Wanda is the only person now that can really open doors, but that's fine. I think that's kind of fine. So, alright. That happened. That is the player phase. Now the abomination is going to move right next to Josh, but that's fine because he has slippery, and we have 2 Molotovs, so we don't have to worry about this. The abomination, patient 0, moves right here. The runners are going to move 1, 2, and be right here. These runners are going to be right... Oh gosh, we got a big old group of runners here now, so that is something to worry about. It would be nice if they were in the same zone as the abomination, but... Well, there you go. I mean, we could always use our extra Molotov, but I really don't want to do that. Each deck usually only has 4 Molotovs, and like I said, you can only kill the abomination with a Molotov. So it's usually wise to save that Molotov for abominations. As tempting as it may be to take out a giant group of zombies with 1 Molotov. You don't even have to roll any dice. You just discard the Molotov. As long as it's in your hand and you're like 1 zone away, you can throw that Molotov. Okay, so that's the runners and the abomination. These walkers move forward. So do these walkers. We have 2 more runners over here, and they move into this intersection. So now we spawn 3 times. Alright. All walkers get an extra activation. So these go here, and these go here, and that's what happens there. Alright, so that's that zone. Nothing spawns there, but walkers got an extra activation. So now we get 2 more spawns. We get 7 walkers, because we are in orange now. Like I said, the numbers start to ramp up as you start to do more things. You're making more noise, more zombies get drawn to the area. Things get hotter. Okay, so we've got 7 walkers over here on the east side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. No, I'm not going to bother to describe each sculpt every time. That's 7 walkers right there. 1 more spawn is 5 more walkers on the south side. Let's grab 5 more models. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a bride. Here comes the bride. Brides, I think, are not in the core box either. They're just like a special model. Some of these walker models are also kind of special because they came from like a Rio Z campaign. That's one of the things that the dev team makes, is like these. They started making that recently. These extra campaign boxes that you can buy that will give you unique mechanics and tiles and yada yada yada. But yeah, so I've got these carnival themed zombies that appear sometimes. That's cool. Anyway, that is movement and spawning, so now it is the player phase again. So probably what we kind of have to do here is Josh has to go first. So it might make the most sense for him to use his actions wisely. He can shoot from where he is past the abomination at those runners. He can shoot a total of 3 times and then move without any kind of a penalty thanks to Slippery. And so yes, Slippery does come in handy occasionally. And actually he gets that free combat action. So we might as well just take that right now and then start counting his actions. Free combat action. He shoots with his evil twins at that group of runners. 3 or more. Yes, 2 hits, so 2 runners are dead. Josh gets 2 points for that. Alright, so at this point, he can now shoot 3 times and still be able to move. Free combat action has been used. Alright. That's 2 hits. 2 more dead runners. You're on a roll, Josh. Keep it up. 1, 2. Okay. Second shot. That is 1 hit. I'm not going to reroll that. It's a hit. It's a hit, and 1 more point. Now, once you're in orange, you're going to be in orange for a while. Like, you don't get to red on the AP gauge until you're at the just the very last point. So, like, orange starts at 19, and you got to go all the way to 43 to get to red. So, yeah, red will mean you get, like, a 4th skill, and they usually give you, like, a choice between 3 different skills that you can choose. And the skills in red are usually kind of OP, especially when you stack them up with the other skills, the blue and the orange and whatnot. So you can, that's what's kind of interesting, is that, like, you can sort of choose different skills depending upon, like, what equipment that you have, so you can technically get like a different build each playthrough with like, you know, different characters and whatnot. Also, there is an ultra red mode, which means that like for really long games, if you wanted to, you could like keep playing beyond red. You could have a character that goes into red just go all the way back down to 0, keep all the skills that they already earned, and then continue to earn AP as you go on, and in that way they can continue to get those other skills that they missed along the way because they didn't choose those. So that is something that you can do. I haven't really done that just yet, but it's an option. You can have these big old games that go for a while. And like I said, sky's the limit for how big your map is. You could just put a whole bunch of tiles together. Let's not get too deep into that just yet, though. This is the tutorial mission, after all. We're just trying to stick to the basics here. Got ahead of myself a little bit. Josh is still shooting, isn't he? Right? I think he gets one more shot, and then he can move. Alright, so he gets one hit. And again, I'm not rerolling that. He got a hit. It's fine. Give him one more point, bringing him to 26. He uses Slippery to move in here. That is Josh. So most of those runners are already dead, and that is great. Good job, Josh. Thanks. So we might as well just have Ned go right now, because, yeah, we're just going to have him search. Ned is just kind of searching. He's going to have to, yeah, he's just going to ditch this other stuff that he found. Plenty of bullets and sniper rifle. He's just going to throw that out. And then he's going to search real quick to see, can he get a food item? Well, he gets plenty of shells and a Molotov. We now have 3 Molotovs at the same time? Alright. I'll take it, I guess. I was hoping for a food item, but that's cool. Anyway, so with that in mind, hell yeah, we're throwing that Molotov. Who should throw the Molotov? I kind of think... it should probably be Amy. Because Amy just gets a free move action. So... yes. And Wanda is already an orange. So it would be nice for Amy to get 5 points for killing the Abomination. And yes, you get 5 points for killing an Abomination, as opposed to like the 1 point that you get for killing basically every other enemy type. So killing an Abomination is definitely more valuable. So yeah, she uses one action to put the Molotov in her hand from her backpack. She then uses another action to discard the Molotov. She tosses it out of the building and kills Patient Zero. Patient Zero is now gone, and Amy earns 5 points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting her at 14. Cool. Alright, so at that point, she did a reorganize and a toss. She's got 2 actions left. So, I don't know. I think since she has a flashlight, I should have her search so that maybe we can get that food item we're looking for. So, 1, 2 cards, and we do get canned food. So that is dope. She gets canned food and a kukri that she's just gonna toss. No, actually she won't. She's going to keep it because it might actually be good for her to give that to Elle. I think she's actually going to, let's see. How did this work again? She did reorganize, toss, and then she did a search. So then her final action could be a trade with L. And in this way, she could give L... Let's see. L can get rid of the SMG, arm herself with... You know, we're probably just going to toss this kukri too. There's no point for L to have a kukri because she has sniper. So she can fire her shotgun no matter what all the time anyhow. And these stats are like the same. The only difference between the kukri and the shotgun is like it's not ranged. So yeah, L gets a sniper rifle and we toss this kukri. Cool. So that's Amy. Alright, so we've got... Let's see, who hasn't gone yet? Josh went, Amy went, Ned went. So we still have Elle, Wanda, and Doug. Okay. So at this point, we don't have to worry about patient zero anymore, but we do need to carve our way over here to get this final objective. And it would be dope if we could find another food item somewhere along the way. I'm sure Ned is going to keep searching busily up there. I guess for the most part all we need to worry about is getting here to get this final objective. So with that in mind, Elle is going to step out and try to get herself some more points by killing that there runner with this shotgun. She can shoot twice. She is still in blue. She does hit once, so now she's in yellow. She gets an extra action, and she killed that runner. Cool. So she's got 2 actions left, meaning, let's see. Yeah, we might as well have her move forward and take another shot at this group. Wanda can sprint and shoot with her shotgun, just in case she somehow doesn't kill them all. So she's going to shoot one more time with her shotgun. 2 die, 4 more. She also has her sniper rifle, which means she can shoot at range at a little bit more accuracy. But these zombies are right in front of her, so it's shotgun time. She hits once. So she kills 1 zombie. Alright. L's an 8 now. That's L. So like I said, we're going to have Wanda sprint here and then just unload with her shotgun. You know what? Let's have her sprint here. I might as well. Because that way she can shoot, and if she misses, then she can just follow that up with a melee. And it's still just 1 action for the sprint. She now has 3 actions left. Alright, so she hits one. No, she hits twice. She gets a 3 and a 5. My shotgun hits on a 3 or more. Boom. That was... You know... I should have had her shoot at the other group and then just do a melee with those, but whatever. That would have been more efficient, but it is what it is. She shot. Those are dead. That was 2 actions. I don't really want to have her move forward and risk a melee at that small group, so we're just going to have her move back with L, because these runners are going to be in L's face once the zombies can move. So, with that in mind, we can then have Doug, let's see, if he does have an extra action, so he could search and make his way here. We could also have him move, take the epic weapon, and search. Yeah, let's do that. That might be better. We'll have him move, take the epic weapon. What is it? He gets an automatic shotgun. Cool. So what he's going to do is ditch his sawed-offs for the auto shotgun. It's slightly less accurate, but damage 2. So 3 die instead of 4 with his dual-wielding sawed-offs, but this is better because he can shoot it multiple times, because it's an automatic shotgun, right? So we're going to ditch all his stuff that he doesn't want. So he now has a full, well, an empty, I should say, inventory, right? Okay, so he moves, takes the epic weapon. We can have him search to see if he finds that food. He does not. He just gets a kukri that he'll shove in his backpack for now. With one action, he can now move here. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to remember if I had... Yes, Amy already moved. She already did her thing. She did her searching. She found canned food. She gave Elle some stuff. Josh already went. I think, yeah, everybody has already gone, so that is the player phase. We now move these zombies here. These runners, like I said, are going to be right here. These walkers inch forward here. This group of walkers inches forward up here. And then we spawn 3 times. So we find 4 brutes are right next to us. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let me see. Is this that model? I think it is. Yeah. Fun fact. I was playing with my friend once. Well, my cousin, I should say. And he says, "Oh, yeah, that's the penguin. There's the penguin." I'm like, "Wait, what? I painted these. What?" And yeah, this guy kind of looks like the penguin with the skin tone that I used. He's like really pale skin, big black coat. Moving on. Okay, another abomination spawns up on the east side. So what we're going to do is consult the abomination deck once again and see which one we get. It's the Abomina Cop. Alright, that is the one that spawns next. Put the Cop up here. The only thing special that the Cop really does is you kind of have to shoot him first, targeting priority-wise. That's basically it. Like, if there's a group of this abomination and brutes, you can't choose between him and the brutes. You hit the Cop first, meaning like you can't shoot any zombies in that group because the Cop is there unless you've got a special skill or you have a Molotov. So this is an abomination that basically shields everything from ranged fire in that zone. So one more spawn, having said all that. And, oh, runners get an extra activation. That's not great, because now these ladies take 4 wounds. Huh. Well, that's the game. Because if Wanda took 2... and Elle took 1, that's still not enough. Because, see, runners get two activations each. And that's 4 wounds. So, these ladies are dead. Because... hold the phone. Okay, so Elle's at 2. Wanda's full. No, I mean, yeah, so if Wanda only has 3 wounds remaining, Elle only has 2. Game's over. Alright, well, that's how the cookie crumbles, y'all. I lost this one. I lost the tutorial. Isn't that cool? This is kind of a first for me, but whatever. Mission accomplished. Really. Sure, I didn't win the game, but we had a good time. We had fun. It was pretty exciting. We did not win. These 2 ladies are dead. So, according to the rules, the game is over. That means I'm going to stop recording now. This video is probably long enough as it is, right? So, we lost, and I'm not going to do this mission again. We're just going to move on to the next mission and hopefully win that one. Next video will be Mission 2, the Y Zone, and we won't have to explain quite as much in that one. We're just going to play the game. Right? So, this was City Blocks, the tutorial mission. Next up will be Y Zone. See y'all later. Take care of each other and stay safe.